let's have a look what your wedding looks like for Leos. This is for Leos. The bride or the groom is Leo, or you might be Leo rising. Do check out the rest of the series for your different sign. So this is for Leos. So the overall look of your wedding. So let's have a look for Leos. So for Leos, getting married. All very exciting. So first of all, you've got the Two of Winter. So sometimes making decisions is going to be overall quite good. So sometimes we look at our heart and what we really want. So sometimes the decisions of where to get married or overall can be quite difficult at times. So sometimes the decision to spend more on one thing than the other, but go with your hearts. The Two of Winter is always about heart issues. So opening up, maybe listening to your partner, the wedding planner, etc. is going to really pay dividends. This is your special day. And Leos like to be extravagant, dramatic at times. So that's another element that might be in the equation overall. Also, the Seven of Spring, it's standing up for your rights of what you do want within this scope of the occasion. So the Seven of Spring is aiming for what you want and really making sure that that's in place. So making the bigger decisions, sometimes decisions can be hard to make. So really discussing, maybe writing things down and having all those aspects. But you also need to be heard. As a Leo, you need to be heard. So if your partner's Leo and you're not Leo, then listen quite substantially, because you know their view also counts within this. Also, the overfeel of it is unity. So coming together, this is absolutely perfect. The unity card is all about marriage as well, tradition. So maybe you some of you really want that traditional feel. So no matter what your other partner wants, sometimes having that tradition. So it might be something like, oh, I've always worn this piece of jewellery, it's been in the family, or something like that. Always remember those kind of things. So it's what basically makes the Leo really sing out with this particular aspect. So that's nice. So let's have a look at the guests at your wedding. So it looks like for a lot of Leos, it's going to be traditional, making decisions, which is the heart. So a lot of the times with the overall feel that both of you need to be heard, both of you need to recognise that the other person needs those traditions. So a lot of the time when we're doing that, there might be a different cultural aspect to this. So do include those traditions because it's important. It's important for them. All right. So let's have a look at the guests. Let's have a look at your guests. What problems could arise? So this is for Leos. All righty. This is for Leos. Guests. Any problems that are coming up? Let's have a look. For Leo. So, first of all, with guests, you've got the Nine of Summer. So guests are playing quite an important role in your particular wedding. It's like some people like certain things, maybe the flower arrangements, maybe you have to accommodate one set of guests. It could be your family, their family, etc. But this is all about wishes. So I predict quite a lot of people are going to kind of use the air element, like, oh, let's have those Chinese lanterns going up, or maybe you'll have an air balloon ride or something like that. I do kind of see a lot of air elements within your guests. So, so it's almost like letting off balloons, fireworks, anything to do with the sky is going to be quite important. So it's almost like laying a kind of foundation for all of your guests as well. So that's quite a nice element in, actually. So I'm interested in that. Also, with your guests, you've got the High Priestess, so really pay attention to the intuition of how things are going, your life purpose. I think a lot of you who are Leos, who marry, this is quite an important union with the two of you. Now, you may think that's an unusual thing to say, but remember, some marriages don't work. But at this time for Leos, this is a very, very good omen. So this is a very, very good soulmate to learn off, to really understand. So some of your guests really understand that, and that it's very important for them as well. So the coming together in your particular celebration is going to be really, really interesting, not only for them, but for you as a couple as well. So I'm intrigued about that. Also, you've got the Emperor. So this is good for guests simply because the father is going to be a particular influence, whether that's your father or your partner's father or someone of high standing. So you already have the unity in the other aspects, but with the Emperor as well. So I think the Justice of Peace, the Minister, or the person who marries you, Justice of Peace, etc. It might be a friend of yours, it might be a relation, but this person is really going to be quite influential to some other guests as well. But your father, whether the father is in spirit, you know, and a lot of traditions of fathers like to walk the bride down the aisle, so to speak, even if it's an outdoor wedding. So father issues are going to be very important to a lot of you, and that includes grandfathers as well. So having that element is really going to really stand up, and a lot of people are going to admire the father figure. All right, so that's nice. So let's have a look at dress, the clothes of the wedding, not only the bride's clothes, but the groom's clothes, and the party, the bridal party, so to speak. Let's see if there's any concerns for Leos. It's all very exciting, isn't it? Right, this is for Leos. The bridal dresses, bridal garments. Okay, so 7 of Summer. So there is going to be an element of quite a lot of choices on the cards for you. So sometimes we can't always get our first choice of what we do choose, but it's going to be an array of colour. And within our dress and the bridal party is different colours. So they'll obviously match the flowers or complement the flowers within this. I think for this particular aspect, a lot of you don't completely know if you're going to go down a traditional dressing or something that's themed. So I remember a lot of the times some Leos like the theatrical side. So, you know, there are going to be themed weddings here, especially in the reception, the night, evening wear. And remember, we said all those fireworks and things like that. So a lot of you might be getting married on yachts, all sorts of things that are completely different. And this goes hand in hand, really. So those kind of choices about dress, there are going to be a few outfits anyway. With the Prince of Spring, this is taking a lot of kinds of action towards these dressings. So as I said before, there are going to be a few dress changes, but it's also be very mindful of the bridal party, of what people are wearing, simply because it's a budget that needs to be had a look at. So if there are extra people in the bridal party, then take action, because speed is of the essence, especially if some of you are having 2 different wedding locations as well. So that's interesting. There could be a delay as well. This is not too bad, because it just means that being pre-warned, so to speak, especially if you are having a different wedding dress to the actual wedding breakfast, reception and party, and then going away. So take your time, really realise it is easier sometimes to wear the same dress but just alter it at night. Some people have the long skirt and then it detaches for easy accessibility of walking up and down steps and all the rest of it. So it is quite good to have that kind of aspect. So yeah, very interesting. So this shows that there's something, perhaps a lot of you have had your ideal dress or outfit that you've wanted for years and years and years. And some of you have got to go to a different shop or a dressmaker to actually get that done, even if it's a suit as well. So I predict a lot of fun within that array. So that's nice. So let's have a look at the catering and the party side of it. What's going on there? Let's have a look at the food, catering, and party time, which is always quite a lot of fun for Leos. Leos on your wedding. Isn't it great that we can get married this year? No restrictions. So Leo, let's have a look. So you've got the moon. So this is a great aspect. So I predict the evening the party is going to look great in like moonlight, lovely candles, lanterns, and kind of all those colours as well. So as well as setting off the fireworks, perhaps for a lot of you, there are going to be fairy lights, and a lot of things are going to be illuminated. So that's quite a lot of fun. So maybe a lot of you are looking at marrying around full moons, new moons, the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, and all sorts of things. So it's nice to have that reflective aspect as well. So for a lot of you, having mirrors, anything that's reflective, and kind of streams of water. We see a lot of water within this aspect as well. So maybe the food is going to be quite yin in its makeup. So that's quite good, really. Very nice. So you've also got the strength card as well within the partying. So just take it easy with the partying, because we have to accommodate for both sides of the story, because I am seeing a lot of elderly people as well in most of these weddings. So if you are going to kind of cater on a boat, make sure that people aren't seasick, with certain foods and things like that, or too much rocking and rolling, which is interesting. But the strength card will give you new ideas as well to really make something fantastic out of catering. So thinking outside the box and kind of going different. And there are some of you that are on different budgets, and so you don't have to go all out extravagance on the food. There can be kind of shortcuts or different aspects with that. So if you are getting married on yachts and boats or just whatever, you can have fish and chips, that's fine. So it's having the courage of what you really want for you two. So remember, it is you two. Also, with the Ace of Summer there, this is a great time to really have a look at newness. So this is where the courage comes in, having something completely different. A lot of you are probably pregnant when you get married, these couples, and you know, it's almost like leading to a fertility from this. It really is. So that can be an exciting part as well. I know that's got nothing to do with catering and nothing to do with the partying, but maybe it's to do with the fun factor at night. But it's going to be a complete joy, and everyone's going to feel that love, that newness. A lot of people might want to even renew their own vows. You might give the opportunity for people to do that in the week following or something like that. But it is going to be a good time, and the celebration of new life is definitely going to come from your marriage. Well done, Leos. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.